Welcome to another episode of Mastermind Bites. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Mastermind Bites, I get to feature another amazing individual. And the reason why I'm doing this is because over the last few years, I've been privileged and also very, very honored to meet some amazing individuals, some very successful individuals and masters of their skill sets. And I got to be in their presence, learn from them, take notes, hear their stories, and just be in their presence and get their energy and see how they're motivated and how they succeeded, and get to share some of those stories with you. Now, today I get to feature the one and only Mr. Michael Douglas. This guy is absolutely amazing. He's been in the industry for over 50 years and he's done everything. You've seen him as in Wall Street. You've seen him in Basic Instinct, in the game. He's won Golden Globes and also Academy Awards, and he's just an amazing actor. He's also gotten a star on the Walk of Fame, and he's also a producer. And most recently, he's now on Netflix with the Kominsky Method, and also he's in one of the biggest movies of all time, Endgame, as one of the characters in Antman. So this guy has been changing and modifying and adapting to the changes of the industry, and also been able to recreate himself over and over again to be able to be relevant and also still be one of those forces in Hollywood. And he's gone through a lot of different things, and personally, he's gone through a lot of personal changes as well with regards to his health and also his family, where his son's an addict and was arrested and whatnot. He's gone through the battle of cancer with his own health. So he's gone through a lot of different things, and he's always been able to overcome it and still work very hard in his art, and also be able to be also very successful in what he does as well. One of the things I found that was very, very interesting as to what he does when he takes a script is that not only does he read it and go, you know what, I love this, I'm going to do it, but he takes it, reads it, and he goes, you know what, I'm very emotionally engaged and attached to the script, but let me look at it a second and third time just to see if it's structurally sound, if it's technically sound. So then he goes through a few iterations to make sure that he's going into the right project. And that's something we could actually take away. Something that we can apply to our daily lives all the time, because sometimes we're so emotionally engaged with something that we jump into decisions so quickly that we don't think about something else. And by taking a step back and go, okay, wait a minute, I really, really like this project. Let me analyze it from a different point of view to see if this is exactly what I need in my life right now, if this is exactly the type of project I want to put myself into. Is it structurally sound? Is it technically sound? Not only do I have to love it, I still need to make sure that everything else is done correctly and in a way that for sure it will succeed, or it has the most likelihood to succeed. And that way you can mitigate your risk and mitigate your fear when you're jumping into a project. But aside from that, there was a few other lessons learned that I got from Mr. Michael Douglas. And that was number one, his keys to success. And his keys to success was three things: trust your instincts, be persistent, and always be on time. And when you're on time, it shows that you're committed. It shows that you're focused and shows that you're present. And when you're present, you gain that respect from other people. You gain that recognition from other people, showing that, you know what, you're there, you're present, and you are committed to something you already agreed upon or you promised to be doing. And it shows that when you're on time, it shows that you are there 100% and you are going to be there to support and provide value. So that's why being on time is absolutely incredible and also very, very important when it comes to our daily lives. Make sure that you are on time. Make sure that you are on time to those meetings, to those engagements that you've promised way before. And if you can't make it, make sure you engage with the person beforehand and give them a good enough heads up. But being on time is absolutely vital. Number two is how he was able to appreciate change and appreciate people in those roles today. So for instance, he's been in the industry for over 45, 50 years, and he's been there, he's done that. But one thing he hasn't done for a long time during his career was jump into a green screen. And therefore, he adapted to that change where he's casted as Hank Pym in Antman, where he had to do a lot of different acting in front of a green screen. And after getting that experience, he really, really, really appreciated all the new actors right now who has to really act in front of a green screen when there's nothing there. You really have to imagine. And now he actually said, he quoted that, you know what, that is in fact now acting. Instead of seeing something, you really have to imagine it. So he really appreciates the industry now as to what they need to do. And he also adapted to that change, which is something he needed to do because now green screen is a big thing. And especially for him to be in a movie so big like Endgame, one of the biggest movies of all time in Marvel, he had to be able to adapt to that change. And he was now able to really expand his repertoire and now being able to act on green screen. The third thing I want to say is he is a person who would enjoy every moment of everything. He enjoys being in the moment, and he always believes that this is the moment for things to happen. Because when he was asked the question, so when was it that you believed that you made it? And when is the next big thing? He goes, well, right now, right now, right now. The moment is now. The moment is always, always now. And when you love what you do, that moment is always now. He always loved being an actor. He always loved being engaged in that realm, that industry. So therefore, he also expanded himself into producer as well, so that he could always have one foot in that whole space and still love what he does and enjoy his life and always make that moment now. Always making that next big thing now because he's so engaged with that industry. Number 4 is the importance of listening. Something that happened to him very, very young was that when he was talking to his stepfather actually asked him a question and he answered. And he looked up and goes, wow, you're actually looking at me eye to eye and listening to what I'm saying. And at that moment, it changed his life because he goes, you know what? Somebody, an adult, is actually so engaged with what I'm saying and listening. It made him feel so important and made him feel so cared for and so listened to and also felt important. And that's why he now applies this throughout his entire career to be a very, very avid listener. Because when you listen intently to what other people are saying, then you are truly able to understand what they're looking for, what they need, and what's actually behind the emotions and behind the words, because you're really, really listening intently. And when you're doing that, the other person who sees that you're listening and you're engaging and that you actually care will be able to share more, will be able to open up more and really be comfortable with sharing information with you because they realize that you care about them, that you're listening to them intently. So listening is absolutely very, very important. And as one of my good friends says, Glenda shared, listen loudly. Always listen loudly. Being there for that person and just listen is one of the things that many, many people are unable to do because they're so ready to jump in and say something. But when you just sit there and you listen loudly, listen intently, you can be able to help other people out, maybe sometimes just sitting there and listening. And the last thing I want to point out is how he was able to commit into his work, into his craft, into his art. He was told that, you know what, the camera can tell when you're lying. And he was kind of going, wait a minute, acting is lying. My whole life is lying. I lie about everything in order to act. So how do I change that? Well, the thing is, that person says, well, the thing is, the camera always can tell when you're lying. So then he really had to think about, well, how do I go around that? So he put more studying into it, did more research, and that's why he got into method acting, putting himself directly into that whole life, into that character, being able to act to the point where his lying is so flawless that the camera is no longer able to pick it up. So that's how you're supposed to treat anything that you do. Give it the commitment, give it that research, that knowledge, that skill set, that time, so that you can engulf yourself into that role, engulf yourself into that project, engulf yourself into that character. So by the time you're doing it, it's so flawless that nobody can tell you're forcing it. Nobody can tell you're faking it. And the thing is, you don't want to fake it. You want to be authentic. And that's why you have to put so much time into it, so much so that it becomes authentic. It becomes your second nature. And that's what he does. He puts so much time into his acting craft that is so flawless, you can't even tell he's acting. It's so real. So those are 5 things I've learned from Mr. Michael Douglas. Once again, number 1 is the keys to success, which is your trusting your instincts, being on time, and also your persistence. Number 2 is being able to appreciate the new craft, appreciate other people in their crafts, and also adapting to change with him and the green screen. Number 3 is now is the moment. Now is the time for you to do whatever you want to do. Now is the next big thing because you absolutely love what you do. Number 4, listen loudly, listen intently. That is when you're able to really engage with people. And then number 5 is be committed in your craft. Put in the time, put in the hard work, so much so that it becomes second nature and becomes so natural that it's authentic to the people that's seeing you, and so that the camera cannot tell that it's not you. It's absolutely you because it's so true and so real at that time. You put in the time and the effort. So those are the 5 things. And if you like this episode, please like, subscribe, and share and comment. And if you like this Mastermind Bites, I have a whole bunch of other episodes on Mastermind Bites showcasing a whole bunch of other masters of their skill sets. And if you like this show, obviously we have the Peak Potential Success Show on, and also the Unlocking Your Mind and the Make More Mind Bite that goes up every single week. So please like, subscribe, and thank you for your support. And until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you later.